And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. And that's what Christmas is all about.
You hear that, boy? That's what Christmas is all about.
Actually, Granddad, Christmas is a pagan holiday, and Jesus probably hates you for celebrating it.
There ain't gonna be no Scrooges in this house, boy.
Look, Granddad, it's clear from the scripture that Jesus was not born in winter. The shepherds who saw the angels announcing his birth would not have been out in their fields in December. The Palestinian winters are too cold, if you believe in that sort of thing. The truth is, Christmas evolved from the Roman holiday Saturnalia, a winter festival where men gave gifts to each other. They also would get drunk, have sex with each other, and beat their wives. People would act so crazy on Christmas, the holiday was outlawed by the Protestant Church until the 1800s. As a matter of fact, the United States Congress... Granddad? Granddad!
I'm sorry, boy. What was that?
I just explained the entire history of Christmas.
But it was boring, Huey. You just blah blah gay sex, blah blah Congress. You know you gotta be interesting.
Okay, shalom. I want to say, first and foremost, I want to say Kal Halal Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstones, and salutations to the elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. I just wanted to make this video on the so-called holiday called Christmas. That was about 2 days now, or just yesterday, or a day before yesterday now. So it's a little late, overdue, but still much needed because, you know, a vast majority of the world that's Christians believe that Christmas is Christmas is to be celebrated, and Christmas. I'm here to prove that Christmas is not to be celebrated if you're a Christian. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 19. It reads, "Take heed to thyself that thou forsake not the not 19, 29, Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 29. When the Lord Yahweh thy power shall cut off the nations from before thee, whether thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwelleth in their land," because right now we're dwelling, you know, Israel's all over the place. A vast majority of Israel's in America, which is not their land. Our land is Israel, and our land is Israel, but Israel right now is polluted. So vast majority of Israelites are dwelling. So you Negroes and Latinos and North American Indians, and you know, some of you other nations that look like other nations, but in your spirit you're an Israelite. You too, you're dwelling in other nations, in other lands, and with those other lands, and in those other lands, the heathens that live in those other lands are they have their own customs and holidays that they celebrate. And one of those, being over here in the western hemisphere, or the western world, western side of the world, Christmas is a big holiday that's celebrated here. Now, Christmas is not something that we're to celebrate. If you're calling yourself a Christian, Christmas is not Christmas is something that we are not to celebrate. Now it says, "And thou succeedest them, thou dwellest in their land. Take heed to thyself that thou beest not snared," right, like a trap, "by following them. After that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods. You know, and Jesus Christ, because Christmas is a celebration of the man named Jesus Christ, which is not the real name of the Son of the Most High. First of all, and second of all, he was never born on the 25th of December. The Bible never tells you a date, never gives you a date as to when he was born. Okay, it also does not make sense for Yahushai, okay, which is who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Yahushai was not born in the middle of the winter. When you read the scriptures, it said all the shepherds and the sheepmen and all the sheep and the goats were out. No way that all these animals and the shepherds are going to be out in the middle of winter. Okay, makes no sense. Okay, so it says, and this is their God. All right, over here in the Western world, Christianity, westernized Christianity, the God that you guys praise is Jesus Christ and God. You guys don't praise the true power, which is Yahweh, who you ignorantly call God, and his son, Yahushai, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. So it says, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy power, unto the Lord Yahweh thy power, for every abomination to the Lord Yahweh which he hateth have they done unto their gods. So now the things that the people here do unto their gods are things that are an abomination to the Lord. The Lord sees them as being an abomination, and he hateth them even. That's a strong word. So all this worship, all this praying, because when, you know, what's the one thing that they do for Jesus Christ on this day? There's a massive prayer. You know, you get with your family, you gather around the table, you have your turkey, the meal, the food is all there. You guys all hold hands, bow your heads, and close your eyes and pray to Jesus Christ and God, which the Lord hates that, man. And it's an abomination unto him, because furthermore, the man that's in that holds the image of Jesus Christ, his real name is Cesare Borgia, who by the way slept with his own sister. Okay, killed his older brother to be next in line for to be a ruler under his father, and was a homosexual on top of that. So this is the guy who holds the image of Jesus Christ. And you don't believe me? Look it up, man. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. It's all there. The history is all there. Okay, his father was Pope Alexander VI, and if I'm not mistaken, Michelangelo painted Pope Alexander VI. Asked Michelangelo, who at the time Cesare Borgia was affiliated with homosexually, asked him to paint his son as the image of the Lord, because that was during the Renaissance, so the rebirth of Rome. And that's who you guys praise as being the Son of the Most High. So of course, a man like that, the Most High will see that as being an abomination, a filthy act. Okay, you're gonna pray to that man and to the Lord as if, and give him that day as if you're praying to the Most High himself and his son. That's disrespectful. And the Lord will destroy you, man. You guys who keep celebrating these vain holidays and keep following in the footsteps of your pastors with the wrong information, you're gonna get destroyed, and that's just the truth. It's hard to take. It might be hard to hear, but it's the truth, nevertheless. Abomination to the Lord, which he hateth, have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. And this is crazy because the elites of Esau do this, man. The sacrificing of many children to their god, which their god is Satan, which Satan is under the control of the Most High. And so they have burnt offerings to Satan, which are children. And there's proof out there of this, man. Again, you can easily look it up. There's videos on YouTube of different men that were in this so-called secret society. I say so-called, you're not secret anymore. Everybody knows the cat's out the bag. Everybody knows about the Illuminati. But you got a lot of men with testimonies about being in the Illuminati and testifying to the many things they used to do at their rituals. All right, and among the many are sacrificing children to their gods, which is Satan. So it says, what things soever I command you, observe, do it. Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. Okay, so now the next scripture here is Jeremiah 10, which this scripture, if you don't already know, this is the Christmas scripture. This is the Christmas scripture, okay? This explains this literally tells you. Well, I'm going to just read it and it'll explain itself. This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Okay? Thus saith the Lord. Again, this is you Latinos, North American Indians, and North American Indians, and Negroes. Also, you Jakes out there, you Israelites that look like other nations, but in your spirit you're Israelite. All right, you feel like this is the word. You feel like you have a zeal for the Most High, but you look like a Moabite. This is a Chinese person, or a Japanese person, or an East Indian, so-called East Indian person, or whatever you may be. You're most likely an Israelite. So this is a message to you too as well. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. Now, the Most High, we read in the last scripture, the Most High said, observe His commandments, do them, and don't add on thereto, and don't diminish it from. So, this is a commandment, man. It said, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which is our power, learn not the way of the heathens. Well, we're over here on the western side of the world. We're surrounded by heathens. And the top heathen of all the heathens is Esau, which it was Esau who established this Christmas, all right? Who established this so-called holiday called Christmas. So the Most High said, those of us that are Israelites, we're not to learn the way of the heathens. So this is the way of the heathens, because Esau has now established Christmas as a so-called holiday to both Israel and the other nations, and even among himself. But we're not to learn that, and we're not to do it. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. Now there was just a couple days ago, there was a chariot. I believe it was a chariot of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But it was a so-called UFO sighting in California, and damn near everybody was dismayed at that view, or at that image. They were all shell-shocked and surprised, and got their camera phones out and was in awe. It was in awe of the chariot. It was a spectacle to the world, really. But those of us that know the knowledge of the Most High, all right, that understand His word in truth, we understand that that's just a chariot of the Most High, man. That could be that so-called UFO is most likely a chariot of the Most High. And I say most likely because, you know, Esau has the technology to project certain image in the sky to confuse the masses. When I say Esau, I'm talking about you elites, alright? You Illuminati elites, okay? You guys, you so-called Illuminati people, alright, in the high places, you guys, we know you have the technology to project certain images in the sky. Hence, Project Bluebeam. So, you know, but, you know, like I said, you know, I like to believe it was a chariot of the Most High. Whether it was or not, you know, the point is that we're not dismayed at these images because we're ahead of the game, so to speak. You know, those of us who are doing this work in sincerity and truth, we're ahead of the game, right? We're already looking for signs like that in the heavens, so that we can get up out of this kingdom and Yahushua can come back and redeem us. Because this is a wicked kingdom. You know, everybody gets 2 weeks prior to Christmas. Everybody gets excited. You know, gets in the so-called Christmas spirit, which is really, that's deep, because when you guys say, you know, everybody says, you know, it's time to get into the Christmas spirit. That's deep, because that spirit is actually a demon. There is a spirit among Christmas, in the time of Christmas, that falls upon, you know, a great number of the world, and everybody's in that Christmas spirit, you know, and you damn near break your bank to show your family and your friends that you love them, which is bullshit, because you should, you know, if that's the case, you should have that same love and affection for your family every day. All right, it shouldn't just be one day out of the year that you choose to show your love and affection to your family, and then the rest of the 364 days is whatever. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's just a scheme. This whole holiday, Christmas, is just a scheme so you can spend more money and give it back to Esau. You know, and it's to furthermore to condition you and to condition you and to keep you at bay to what's really going on, because what Esau will do, these elites, they will have holidays like this, and then will be pushing their agenda right in front of you, and you won't even notice. Okay, their agenda towards the New World Order. Now it says, verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. Now let's look up that word vain real quick here. So we look up our words over here. Vainly. It says it says vapor, breath, vapor, vanity. Now when you go down here, it says emptiness or vanity, figuratively speaking, something transitory. That's why I said the meaning is a breath. Your breath is transitory, right? It's here one moment and is gone the next, right? So it says an unsatisfactory, okay? So something that's not full in, something that's just here it's just like it's in the moment type of thing. Okay, often used as a adverb altogether, vain, vanity. So the key thing to take out of this is that it's empty, it's emptiness. Because something that doesn't last forever, it leaves a room, it leaves emptiness where it was, right? Like your breath, is when you breathe your breath in the wintertime, is there one moment and it's gone the next. Well, that's the same thing with Christmas. Christmas is here one moment and gone the next. It's vain. It doesn't do nothing. So when the Most High said here, verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. So they're here one moment and gone the next. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. Now tell me this does not sound like Christmas. What you fools do, and yeah, that's right, you guys are foolish for doing this, man, because you spend all your money, all the money that you work hard for, you're spending on this vain custom that has nothing to do with the Lord. Okay, you guys all do it to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, right? Even though the Bible doesn't tell you when he was born, but you just assume since everybody's saying he was born on the 25th, let's just go along with it. That's foolish to do that. So what you do is the work of the hands of the axe, the workmen, the works of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, so that the base to keep it straight, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born because they cannot go. So basically, these trees that you guys spend so much time decorating and spend and so much money on to get, they're really it's vain. It's nothing, man. You do it as if this is like your God. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good. Basically, that's saying that there's nothing to worry about or nothing to really care about when it comes to these people celebrating Christmas, because that tree that they spend so much time on, it's just a tree. It's nothing more than just a tree with a bunch of decorations on it. All right? It can't do evil and it can't do good. It's inanimate. So that's it on that. My next scripture here is Amos 5:21. And it reads, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. The reason why I bring this up, because Christmas is another major feast day that you heathens and you so-called Christians celebrate. Because it's both New Year's, or not New Year's, Thanksgiving and Christmas are the two biggest feast days that you guys celebrate. Alright? But the Most High says, I despise your feast days, because Christmas is not a feast day that's according to the Most High and His Son. Okay? It has nothing, Christmas has nothing, again, I will repeat, Christmas has nothing to do with the Lord and His Son. Alright? It has nothing to do with Him. And I'm gonna put it in the video here. I have a small skit from Boondocks, which is deep, because in that show furthermore, that show is deep too. So you brothers out there, watch that show for edification. It's a lot of hidden messages in there that plainly point out the truth. But like I was saying, there's a small skit where Huey is talking about Christmas, and he goes into it. He breaks down Christmas and where it came from. So I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So the Most High is not really hearing. The Most High is not hearing your praise at all when you guys pray, get together, hold hands, and bow down to pray in the time of Christmas. First of all, you're calling on the wrong names, and second of all, you're praying. You're praying under a false holiday, or under a heathen custom. Not even a custom of the Most High, but a heathen custom. You Jakes really be into Christmas, man. Okay, my next scripture is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Well, well, who are the main people to spoil the masses through their philosophy and vain deceit? You pastors, man, in the churches. You pastors in the churches. See, the elites. Okay, when Christmas was adopted as a Christian holiday, it was passed down from the elites to you pastors across the world in these many different churches. And they use you to push out the idea of Christmas even furthermore, and the idea that Christmas was the day that Jesus Christ was born, right? But that's it says, the scripture says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Well, a vain deceit, what's a vain deceit? That Christmas was the day that the Lord was born on, and that Christmas is a celebration unto the Lord. That's a vain deceit. It says after the traditions of men, and that's it, man. That's all Christmas is. It's a tradition that came from men, not from the Most High. Again, it's not in the Bible, so that should already tell you that the Most High has nothing to do with Christmas. Christmas actually came from the Romans, man. Even you want to go further back, you're worshiping the sun god. But you used to have a bunch of homosexuals who used to get together in Rome, and on Christmas you used to get together and give each other gifts and drink and commit a bunch of homosexual acts on that day. And then it was later on adopted and rearranged and changed and all that. But that's its origin. That's its etymology, if you know, so to speak. So it says, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ, which is the proper name here would be Yahweh Shai. So it says, let me read this one more time. It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of man, after the rudiment of this world. And this world is wicked, man. That word rudiment basically is talking about the roots, the core of this world. After the core of this world, because at the core of this world is wicked. So most of the things that happen on this planet are going to be wicked. They come from the rudiment of this world. Like Christmas is wicked. It's a wicked holiday. Okay? New Year's Eve is a wicked holiday. All types of wickedness happens on that day. Halloween is a wicked holiday. Thanksgiving is a wicked holiday. Valentine's Day, Easter, wicked. All of these are wicked holidays and tradition of men's. None of them, not one of these holidays have anything to do with the Most High. That's why you don't see them in the Bible. Other than Easter, yeah, you saw Easter, but even Easter you celebrate it off, because you celebrate Easter with a bunny that lays eggs. Which that makes no logical sense, man. There's no rabbit or bunny that lays eggs. Easter is actually the Passover, and I know if you don't know the truth if you don't understand the truth of this Bible, you do not know anything about the Passover. Because even people who do understand the truth of this Bible celebrate the Passover the wrong way. You know, you got men who call themselves Israelites who celebrate the Passover and not keep it. And why I say that is because celebration has everything to do with joyfulness and drinking and laughter. But the Passover is a solemn assembly. Alright? So it says, beware lest any man spoil you through the philosophy and vain deceits, after the tradition of men, after the rudiment of the world, and not after Yahweh Shai. Alright? So my last scripture here, Ephesians 6, I'm going to read to 9. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6, and it reads, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God, the wrath of Yahweh, upon the children of disobedience. Now, the children of disobedience are the Israelites, because the reason why they're disobeying or able to be disobedient is because they were given the law in the first place. You see, you heathens are not, you can't be disobedient if you were never given the law to be obedient to. But you Israelites, alright, you Latinos, you North American Indians, and you Negroes, and also you Gentile Israelites, okay, Israelites that look like the other nations, you guys are being disobedient by not listening to the Lord, which is by not listening to the true men of the Lord, because the Lord has sent down his men to give you the truth, and yet you don't receive us. Beginning with the apostles and the elders on down. You mock us, you scoff on us, and you don't receive us. So you know what the Lord's going to do? The Lord's going to destroy you for that. That's why we don't get emotional about you guys coming up against us, because we're just messengers, man. At the end of the day, all we're here to do is to deliver the truth. Deliver this word until the Lord sends down his son. Until the Lord sees fit that the elect have been sealed, and that's it. We can't save you, man. We're just here to give this message. So if you don't listen, that's your ass, man. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. And that's about to happen, man. People think that what's happening across the world right now is bad. Wait until the day of the Lord. It's going to be like nothing you can ever imagine. Jacob's trouble is going to be horrible too. It says, be not ye therefore partakers with them. See, and this is why I don't celebrate these vain holidays, man. Then all these things that I was reading here, all these different scriptures I was reading that talk about not partaking in the heathen customs and in their traditions, is basically altogether telling you you're going to be an outsider. When you come to this truth, alright, when you actually come to the true understanding of this word, you realize that this is about being an outsider, because you live in a world that is wicked, but yet you're told to be righteous from this book. So automatically, you're going to be an outsider. Alright, you're going to be the one odd guy that doesn't celebrate these holidays, and your family and your friends are going to look at you weird. They'll make fun of you. They'll scoff at you. So, but that's a part of your journey. That's a part of your role when you're in this truth. It's to keep your integrity unto the Most High, for your own sake and for your family's sake, so you can be saved. So you have a possibility to be saved when all hell breaks loose and the Lord comes back. Because when the Lord comes back, everybody that's ever celebrated, all the years you celebrated these vain holidays are going to catch up to you, and you're going to get destroyed for it, man. You're going to get your judgment for it. But for us brothers, and beginning with the apostles and the elders on down, for those of us men that don't partake in these vain holidays and are keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of the Most High to the best of our abilities, you know what? We're going to be rewarded for that, man. It says, for ye were sometimes in darkness, which means without knowledge, alright? We didn't understand, we didn't have this truth before, okay, at one point. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. So before we came to this truth, we never knew that Christmas was a vain holiday, and Halloween and all these different vain so-called holidays were customs and tradition of men. We didn't know that. All right. But now that we're in this truth, we know that these holidays are off. Celebrating these holidays are wrong. So it says, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord Yahweh. Walk as children of light. And in a world that's so dark, if you're walking as the children of the light, guess what? You're going to stand out. That's also why the scriptures say that we're a spectacle unto the world. So don't get dismayed when all eyes are on you, and people are making fun of you and laughing at you and scoffing at you and cursing you, because it's all part of the work. It's all part of the truth, man. The scriptures say, blessed are ye when men speak ill of you, roughly paraphrasing. For as it did, or no, woe to you if men speak good of you, for they did so of the false prophets in the past, roughly paraphrasing. So if the Most High is saying woe, which is death and destruction, unto you when men speak good of you, because they did the same thing as the prophets they did the same things for the false prophets in the past. Well, guess what? The opposite of that, you're gonna want. You're gonna want to not be spoken good of, because that means you're doing something right. Like they say in the world, if you don't got no haters, you're not doing something right. So it's the same thing in this truth, man. If you don't got people who dislike you and dislike this message, you're not doing something right, because the Bible tells you that a vast majority of 144,000 men are reserved unto the Lord to keep His right, to keep this word and to do His work in truth and sincerity. All right, there are about 8 to almost 9 billion people on this damn planet, and 144,000 plus the 1/3, which is probably like altogether like a mil, whatever. I don't know the exact number, because I don't know the exact number of the 1/3, but it's not that much compared to 8 billion people. Okay, so you're going to be an outsider, and at the same time, you're going to stand out.